settled somewhere between Pop's brain and his tongue. When he thinks Nora but says Vera, it sounds like Vera. He gets stuck on that first V sound, which, according to the manner of articulation chart Julie put on our fridge, is a labiodental fricative. Sounds dirty, I said to Pop. Labiodental? I adjusted the magnets so I could see the whole consonant chart. The nasals, the alveolars, the voiced and the voiceless. Pop laughed, and my heart fluttered a little, which I took as proof that it's not broken all the way. When Pop laughs, it feels like we're having a conversation instead of a series of Nora monologues, which are far less graceful than the stories Pop used to tell. There is no real prognosis for Pop. No clear number of months to live. No percentage of independence he'll regain. Pop appears at once fragile and strong, like an egg. Every morning when I tie his shoes, I think, this might be the last time I tie his shoes. And also I wonder, how many more times will I have to tie his shoes? I've seen Henson exactly 5 times since he bought Pop's ranch. I know because I started a page in my ledger just for him. I keep track of a lot of things in my ledger. How often I've turned the compost over, various downy woodpecker sightings. The fact that there were maybe 5,000 Gunnison sage grouse left in the entire world last spring. It's a habit I picked up from Pop, the same way I got my head for numbers and my love of Oreo cookies. On October 30th, Henson and I nodded hello to each other in the Safeway. He was pushing one of those double-decker small carts instead of a family-sized one, and he was buying cornflakes and vanilla ice cream and other plain, sensible foods. On Christmas Eve, he showed up to church for the first and only time. I swear I caught the candlelight reflect off tears on his cheeks when we all sang Silent Night. But I can't be sure. By the time the deacons turned the sanctuary lights back on, Henson was gone. He rode a horse in the New Year's Eve parade, his saddle strung with tiny white twinkling lights, and he tipped his hat and smiled at me when he passed by. The other 2 times I saw Henson, he didn't see me. I was out birding, well hidden by willow and brush, silent, patient, on the public land that runs adjacent to the west side of our old ranch property, federally managed by the Bureau of Land Management. On March 24th, I saw Henson cutting wire on the property line fence that separates our ranch from the BLM land. On April Fool's Day, about 100 yards down the fence line, he did it again. I got pictures of that one. I went down and checked for new grazing leases, and Henson's name wasn't anywhere. BLM land belongs to all of us and none of us, all at the same time. And grazing it without paying fees is the same as stealing feed. Worse, he'll be sending cattle across Pop's and my secret Gunnison sage-grouse lek in the middle of breeding season, which is just as bad for those birds as a real estate development would have been. The Gunnison sage-grouse have as much to do with the woman I am today as Pop does. In 2000, they became the first new species of bird to be officially recognized in the United States for over 100 years. I was 12 years old. The whole town was talking about them. Part of our landscape, part of our character, that kind of thing. I was doing all the ranch chores with Pop by that age. Every day a chance to test my courage, rounding up cattle, test my strength, pulling wires taut on fences, test my stamina, working every last hour of light in a day. I knew by the smile in Pop's eyes that he was proud of me, which is how I learned to be proud of myself. In my memory of Pop's voice, he is always saying, because he always was, "Nice work, Nora. You keep after it, Nora. That's it, girl. Well done." While we worked, Pop told me stories about his life, before me, on the ranch. My grandmother sucking the poison out of snakebite, my grandfather taking the waters out.